Welcome back. In this video we can actually start coding. So I'm just going to start a new project. By the way, the IDE I use is Eclipse. Not sure if it says it anywhere here. I mean, it says it above, but anyways, okay. So let's make a new project. It'll be a Java project. We can do 1.7, that's fine. Separate class folders. Okay, what are we going to call it? I don't know. How about Maze Solver? That works. And good to go. Yes, please. Alright. So, we have our source folder here. I'm just gonna make a new class. I'll just put it in the default package. Let's see here. So, alright. The first thing I'm gonna make is gonna be actually the maze object, and I'll probably right now, for testing purposes, I want to make a driver class just so I can make this, or I guess kind of test it as I go. I mean, this isn't going to be fully on here, test-driven development. I'm not going to make unit tests for this, but just for the sake of development, let's just make a driver real quick. We'll delete this later and replace it with something like a main class, or a main class, but anyways, here we go. Public static void main string args. There we go. We are well on our way to finishing this project. Except not really. Alright. Now the next thing we want is a maze object. The maze, it'll be public. Okay, here we go. Public maze. Now, I've been thinking about this, and I'm wondering, what do I want to pass in? I'm thinking maybe a file name, because what's going to happen is it has to read the file and then create the array. So yeah, why not string input name. Gosh, I'm terrible at variable names. So bad. When I started programming, I actually just used like X's and Y's, and I had no idea like you were supposed to be verbose or make readable code things, but no. Yeah, so now we have our basic maze object here. We got our constructor that's going to take an input name. So, I don't know, I guess then at that we will need a file name. There is a file name. So, string file name. Oh, why not? Okay. So, in here we're going to set file name equals input name. Good deal. Now next, what else do we need? Okay, so I'm thinking back to the requirements here. The first two lines are going to be the dimensions, and then we got the maze itself, and then the starting coordinate. So maybe we will make a coordinate object. Remember, we have to write this class, but whatever. Start coordinate. Create class coordinate. That's convenient. Alright, here we go. Public coordinate. Public class coordinate. Alright. I'm actually going to look over here, see what the requirements were. We just need rows and columns. Okay. So let's do public coordinate int row int call. Sounds reasonable enough. Alright, so we have two real values here. Int row and private int call. Now, normally when I code, I do all sorts of other stuff too. You know, you want your Java doc, you want your comments and stuff. But and you know, maybe because I'm going to be putting this up for download, maybe I will comment it and stuff a little bit later. But for these purposes, really, come on, I don't need to do that, do I? No. All right. So this starting point will be defined once we start reading the maze. Okay, so we have the file name here. We have our coordinate. That's going to be our starting point, and now we want. What else do we need with the maze object? Sorry, I tend to babble. Nothing really, I guess. We're just gonna need to read the file now. So, oh, we need our maze object. So, well, this is our maze object, but we need the internal array. Now, I'm kind of old school. I actually like using arrays. So, I'm probably gonna do that. Usually, you know, I use like, for other things, it's really nice to use lists and stuff, but just because we have the defined size and stuff, I'm probably just gonna use that. For other videos, I might actually use other stuff, but, yeah. Int, what do we want to, yeah, it's an int array. And then it's gonna be, oh, maze array. Works for me. Alright, so this is going to be set up now. This is going to be set up once we read the first line of the file. So, private createMaze, and then we don't really need to pass anything in because, I mean, this is just going to be an internal thing. Oh. Make that void because we're not going to return anything from it. But basically here, what I'm going to do is use the file name, and now since we have the object, it's already going to have that as a private variable here. We're going to open the file, or at least do the whole try catch thing. Try to open the file, and then create the maze based on that. So let's see. What do we want? A buffered reader and file reader? It's been a long time. File name. So, Control-Shift-O should organize our inputs and be beautiful. Oh yeah. There's no guarantee this works, right? Especially if I don't actually have that file there. Now, I did make that file previously. Oops. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, I did make this file, but sometimes I don't always put them in the right place. And it's actually not in here. Maybe I should just put it in this package. Yeah, why not? Okay, since I'm going to have to put everything together anyways. So, what we're going to do here now is we're going to try opening a new buffered reader. It's going to read through our file. Okay. So what options do we have with this buffered reader? Read line, and then do we not? Okay, so let's do like a while. Well, we're gonna read the first line here now. We need to split this up on a space. So, okay, the first line, I want to have this in the scope. Alright. Just creating a line buffer. I'm going to do that line buffer equals buff reader dot read line. Okay, now basically that was the first line, obviously, since we just opened the file. And I don't know, people are probably gonna hate this. In my code, like I took this one class in COBOL a while ago, and everything has to be lined up there. So it usually I'll do that with most code, depending on what it is. And actually, you know what? No, I do that in Perl. I'm not gonna do that here. So just because if other people are reading this, they'll probably hate it. So anyways, now this is actually the size. This is going to be the size of, you know, the first line is going to be the size of our maze. So we can probably put those up here. Sorry, I'm just going to make these variables private. I don't even know why I did not in the first place. Okay, so now I have these private, and now I can actually, once I get the size here, I can create that array. So private int num rows, private int num calls, because why not? So let's make a temporary integer array. This is going to hold our split line here, just so we can create that. Gosh, I'm so used to thinking in C++ now these days, it's ridiculous. Int, this is going to be our, what do we want to call this? Our maze size values. I like it. Alright. So, maze size values equals line buffer dot split on, I don't know, space. How about that? Now, what is this going to tell me? Probably it doesn't like the string to int. Oh, okay. Well, can we, like, change this to an int? Yeah, no. I know we can. They're int. String dot parse. Isn't there, like, a parse int? Come on now. Oh, it's value of, isn't it? No. What do we want? We want it to return an int here. I can just try typecasting it. Why not? Or, because it's going to drive me nuts, let's make this a string array. And then just parse those ints. Because I'm lazy. Alright. So now, we'll do num rows equals max size, maze size values. Wow, I'm getting tired. The 0th index dot 2. No. Whatever. I'll just cast it. I'll do it, man. There it is. Gosh, it's in the integer class. I knew there was a parsing method. I just needed to be persistent. Like hibernate. Oh man. People must love my jokes. Alright. Num calls equals the same thing, but we're going to put a 1 here instead. Alright. So now, at this point, we should have a number of rows and columns. I think that was the order they send them. And then after that, we're gonna read through each line and put it in the maze array. So now we can create our maze array because we know how big it is. Alright, so there we go, that's good. Now, let's call this our line counter. I don't know. I'm declaring these in the scope because I kind of want them to go away, these variables, once I'm done doing all this business. So used to thinking in terms of Perl and C++, it's ridiculous. Okay. Oh, apparently I can't do that in here. Well then, let's just do it this way then. So, now we got, our maze created. While buff reader dot ready. Yeah. Okay. Line buffer equals buff reader dot read line. I promise I'll get better at this. I just haven't made a video in a long time. Okay. So now what we want, we want to create this actually let's refactor this and we'll rename it maze line buffer. Why? Because I can keep reusing it. I mean, at this point I don't actually need to like at this point it's not going to be used anymore, right? So I can just use it for something else useful. Maze line buffer equals line buffer dot split on a space again, because that's how our input file rolls. And then what else we got here? I'm actually probably going to stop this video really soon here because it's already getting pretty long. But that's kind of how code goes, right? You know, sometimes it's not done in 5 minutes. And sometimes it is. Maybe, you know, if you work in Java every day. And I rant. Okay, so now we have this maze line buffer. We have every single one in there. So now we can just do like a for each. Actually, this array here, nah, we'll just do a for each, our for loop. Is less than maze line buffer dot size length. Okay. I++. What am I doing here? I guess that is what I wanted. So now for each of these elements, I am going to push them onto the current index. Oh, and at the end of this, I'm going to do, excuse me, line counter plus plus. Make sure to spell it wrong. All right. So we'll do maze array of line counter of I equals to maze line buffer of I. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Integer dot parse and from this, because obviously we had to do it that way, right? Not really, but why not? Okay. Well, that should create it, right? I hope so. I'm actually gonna copy something here. This is my maze file, but I'm gonna make it again in here in hopes that it sees this file. maze1.txt. Okay, so that's what we got, and I'm really hoping that works. Alright, so now that's gonna build our maze. This will finish up. Cool. I think we can handle that. createMaze, we'll call it, and hope it is a success. Now, our driver class. Yes, I didn't forget about that. Actually, do we want to create the maze in that? Yeah. Let's just do it in here. Sure, why not? Okay. So, we want a maze equals new maze. What did we call it? Maze1.txt. I think we did. Let us debug this and see. How have I done this without line numbers? Wow, okay. That's fine. Okay, there is a breakpoint. Okay, sorry. This whole warning thing is getting in the way. I couldn't tell if there was a breakpoint. Starting. Now there's a breakpoint there. We're gonna get here and debug. Let's go to that perspective. Why shouldn't we? Maze1.text. Okay. Yeah. All of this madness. Woo! Okay, here we go. Now we have our input file name. In this maze we have this stuff. Great. Alright. Create maze. Try. I'm gonna actually skip over this. Or if I can get down to here, that'd be cool. Oh, it failed. e.get. There we go. This is a stack traced element. Let's see what it says. Cannot find the file specified. How did I know that was going to happen? Alright. I am on my other screen now, just so you know. I am going to copy that file into the bin where things are actually ran. And magical things happen. Oop. So, I need to find this workspace. Dress up. There it is. Okay. Maze solver. Bin. Okay, we have one here. I don't know what the deal is. I'm going to put it above the bin and in the source folder too. Alright, now this is going to work. Yeah. Wait, what did we print? Did we print something somewhere else? I don't remember doing this. Am I still recording? I am. Okay. So, we got, yeah, as if I was expecting someone to answer, right? That can't be this localized message, right? Oh well, let's try debugging. Stop this. So accidentally We're in something else. There we go. Yes. Rows. Okay. Please tell me this is working now. Yes, it is. Woohoo. Alright. So it's just the dumb file being in the wrong place. Go figure. So it's gonna go through here and go through and make our maze. And actually, well, I'll just go like this for a little while. I want to see. Here's our maze already. So first row is all 5s. Second row, 0s and a 5. This is looking familiar. Yeah, it should. Alright. Oh, and this, we almost forgot the last line. Sure. Okay. So, I'm gonna stop it here. Oh, okay. We need to actually add some more logic. You know what, I'll pick it up in the next video because this is probably like 30 minutes already. So yeah, anyways, in the next video we're going to start off where I take the last line and put it into this coordinate object here. And then we can start maybe, I guess, with the logic of solving a maze. You know, I guess there isn't a whole lot to it. The user interface part I think is going to be the most demanding part of this project, like it was the first time I did it. So anyways, thanks for putting up with my nonsense. Until next time.